Welcome to another episode of the CarpFix session film, and this time around we have something very, very special for you guys. We are at Three Islands Lake in France for our annual CarpFix social.
On arrival, we had a good walk around the lake. We saw fish showing in all areas. This gave us lots of confidence due to the fact we may have a tough week with some nuisance species.
Now, we booked this session over a year ago, and in that time the crayfish population has risen, and during the warmer months for the last 2 years it's been very, very difficult. So July and August, the crayfish are at their most active, they're at their most destructive. Their plastic wraps around your boilies are being destroyed, tiger nut hook baits are being destroyed.
We all came prepared to fish against the crayfish, and with everyone in their chosen swims, Pecky went out with a new strategy for the week ahead.
Now, after a little bit of a discussion with Nicole and Olivier, they thought it was a good idea to trial having your bait applied via the boat. So standard rules all apply: casting from the bank, no bait boats, no boats for the anglers. But once a day, I've been given permission to take the boat round and bait all of our markers. So myself, Scott, all of the guys on the CarpFix social will have their markers baited around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, mass baited with particles. I think it's going to work. We've never really fished anywhere loaded with crayfish in the past, and we've come here forewarned about the situation. You can see how we tackle fishing in amongst crayfish, how we apply the mass bait, and I'm sure there's going to be loads and loads of takeaways from this film.
Yeah, I like that. That's enough.
We all took advice from anglers who'd fished against crayfish in the past. Volumes of bait were key, so Pecky went straight in with a heavy approach.
Hook bait choice for this session here will be absolutely vital. Now, in the weeks leading up to this session, I've been doing a little bit of research and giving it quite a lot of thought. Now, one of the standard approaches that many would go to is shrink wrapping their boilies. So using a plastic wrapping that goes around the boilie, you shrink it over steam and it forms like an outer jacket that protects the bait. Now, although that sounds like a good idea, I actually think that's a bad idea, and certainly not the way that I would like to approach this session. For me, the crayfish will find that on the bottom. They will realise that there's food inside, and they'll work the plastic trying to get at the bait inside, and in the process of doing so, probably blunt the hook, potentially ruin the presentation, and be guarding the boilie away from any carp that might come to find it. Now, for me, I think a plastic hook bait is the way forward, especially when fished over a mass bait approach. The idea being the crayfish finds the plastic hook bait, realises very quickly that it's not real food before moving on to the real food that's surrounding the hook bait, leaving the rig perfectly presented for when the carp comes. Technically, the plastic is like a lure, and it's just there as something for the fish to suck in when it comes to the spot. With regards to what plastic hook baits I've brought with me, obviously I've brought a variety of different coloured pop-up sweet corn, slow sinking sweet corn, slow sinking maize, pop-up maize in various different colours. But alongside that, I've got slow sinking dumbbells in 3 or 4 different colours, and I've also got some rubber boilies, some slow sinking and some pop-up. So I've got all the options covered, but I'll probably start off with a yellow or a pink slow sinking dumbbell, because that fishes well on my combi multi-rig, and I want to start with something that I've got at least some confidence in. You know, I'm going to be fishing under the duress of crayfish, something that I've not really experienced too much of in the past, and I want to keep things as normal as possible. Things that have served me really well in the past, I don't want to differ too far from that initially. Well, a very quiet night for me. However, a few grass carp out around the lake. I think 3 on the first night. I'm just sitting here looking at the scene in front, wondering if I picked the correct spots. And the right hand one towards the 3 spiky, well, the right hand spot, the left of the 2 rods out there, pulled up tight. Now, when I picked into it, it instantly tried to get under the trees on the island. It's really shallow out there. But I'm hoping this is a carp, but I've got a feeling it's one of the 2 really big sturgeon that live in the lake, because yeah, the way it was pulling at the start of the fight was just absolutely crazy. If it's a carp, it's a big one. A really big one. Steve the sturgeon. We just see it so we know whether we need to be scared or not. No way, this is a carp. It's a carp. It's a carp. It's 100% a carp. A normal carp. After all of that, Scott, can I have the net, please? I don't want to come across. It's a good one. After all of that, it's a carp. It's a carp, Scott. It is. It's a giant common. I'm sitting there playing it like it's a sturgeon. You see what he's doing compared to what the rod's doing. He's like barely trying, or like he's not really kicking his tail, but his carp moving. Here he comes. Here he comes. It's a thick old fish, that, Scott. Scott, look. Oh, he's barely fitting in the net. But he's in there, yes! Oh, yes! Yes! That's good, isn't it? It's just over 64. Well, what a start to our session here at CarpFix's 3 Islands. A 63.5 pound common on the first night. An incredible ancient beast, almost too big to hold, and I am absolutely buzzing. Mega. Oh, it's heavy. Oh. Yes, yes. Well, a pretty hectic first 24 hours. The Saturday on arrival is always that way, you know, getting set up, finding your spots, getting your bait out. It always takes much longer than you anticipate, especially when it's absolutely hammering down with rain all day. But on the fish front, there's been several grass carp caught around the lake. Liam over in Peg 7, he had his first ever French carp, so it's obviously a French PB, a 40-pound mirror. Very, very well done to Liam. And I even managed to catch myself a 63.5 pound common, which is, yeah, I'd have took that for the week. So anything that happens now, other than a few beers, I'm going to be very, very happy about. But on a serious note, on the technical side of things, I've changed my left-hand spot. So I've gone out from 34 to 37. The the main reason being I just think that this swim gets fished a lot, and the further I go, the more sort of into no man's land, the less pressure that area will have seen, and I'm just hoping that the fish will find the bait that much quicker. Other than that, I've changed all of the hook baits to yellow. So I only had one on yellow last night. I've now got all 3 on yellow, and both spots have got the same amount of bait, about 20 kilos. And yeah, looking forward to the second night. Welcome to Pecky Cam. Just trying to chill out after the barbecue and getting the rods out, putting the bait out. And Scott come put his rods out. One of them in the water 2 minutes, done him in the tree to the right. And then he's come up to have a beer. Been there about 10 seconds, had to come running back to his rod because he's got another one. He's been having a few grasses today.
This is, what, how many? 5 casts, 5 bites.
Yeah, in a few hours.
Yeah, I've not fished more than 20 minutes.
Watch that other line, that one's going to go as well, if you don't wipe it out.
See. Yes, it's a carp. It's a carp.
Told you.
It's an actual carp. Yes.
You just needed to fight through him a bit, didn't you?
We call this one Hazy J.
Oh, there's one just boshed out on his spot.
That's the spot.
He's like causing mayhem out there.
Getting that net.
Oh,
Getting that net.
she's coming.
Oh boy! Yes!
Cool, it's a dirty great ghosty.
Look at that though.
Look at the size of it.
Big a bruiser, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. Check out this ghosty. 41.5 pounds. I only started fishing today, and after Pecky and the other guys were all catching on the yellow dumbbells, the plastic ones, that's exactly what I put out. I caught a few grassies. I literally cast 3 rods out, caught 3 grassies, and then put the rods out just going into the evening. I lost one into the trees on the right, unfortunately, but 2 minutes later, the other rod, the longer rod towards the island, went off. I can't tell you how nice it is to catch a proper carp. Even though it's a ghosty, this is a carp. This is what we've come for. So on to day 3 tomorrow. It's onwards and upwards. Everyone's got lots of confidence. We're going to catch some more.
You all right?
With a few carp under our belt, we felt like we could be onto the winning formula. We only brought a small amount of prepared particles with us, so it is up to us to cook the rest whilst on the bank.
Right then, a pretty quiet night around the lake, but one of the jobs that we have to do every day to keep a good amount of bait in the water is to boil up some fresh stuff. So just put a whole bag of maize in there, whole bag of hemp, load of water. It'll be on a long time, doesn't happen quickly. You know, you've got a big old pot like that, it'll be on a few hours. But yeah, 40 kilo bait ready for this evening. Left-hander's gone, 37 wraps towards the left tip of the island, and I'm not sure I'm going to get it back out there, to be honest. This crosswind, you know, even though I like to think I'm pretty good at casting, 37 wraps in a crosswind is a bit far. I'm not sure if this is a carp or a grass carp. You've just seen me putting all that bait on, and that is one of the main reasons. It isn't just the crayfish. You know, I didn't even know this, but there's a lot of grass carp in here, and when you're fishing small baits like maize and hemp, they really, really like that. I've never caught grass carp out of here, or even seen one on any previous sessions when you only fish straight boilies. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it is a big grass carp. It's a dirty great grass carp. I better set my clutch. Yeah, grass carp, as in what the main difference is, they go absolutely mental. You think they're ready for the net, and then they jump out the water like a salmon at the last second and break your landing net. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. That's quite a big one, isn't it? Quite a big old grass carp, that. Right, I'll try and show him to you, but I can't promise anything. I don't want to hurt him. Wow. Right, are you ready? I wasn't ready.
As Pecky mentioned during the fight, we didn't know exactly how many grass carp we were dealing with, but after taking the drone over the lake, it was apparent they were there in their hundreds. This changed the dynamic of the fishing massively. We knew we needed to put a lot more bait in to stand a chance of catching more carp. After catching a few carp and loads of grass carp, I went in really heavy with the baiting, probably 50 to 70 kilos over each spot. It looked abnormal, and it was, but with the grass carp clearly eating it, I knew it was getting eaten. The tactics seemed to pay off. As sunset arrived, I managed to land another carp, and it was a good one.
Oh my god, there are some crazy fishing for eels, but I've never seen this one. This flies in my mouth, sorry. Look at that. It's big. It doesn't, I don't know if the phone does it justice, but that is a big fish. It's very wide as well. It looks like an old dinosaur.
54, 54, 52, 53,
Yeah.
54. I'll go 54.
Yeah, it looks
Kind of,
54,
yeah,
doesn't it?
54. Well, the perseverance has paid off. Look at this, 54-pound mirror. This put up an absolute incredible fight, and after catching even more grassies this evening, this absolute monster has come along and I am over the moon. Jesus, this is an absolute dinosaur. I've never seen this one before. Oh my God, yes. Yes. Oh, check this one out. Look at that dorsal fin. Big old lips on it, big old belly, 44 pounds of magic cubic. This is an absolute monster. Topped off by that 54 pound just a little while ago as well. Can't believe I caught both of these in the same night. This one actually came from the other spot, so towards the left of the island, or towards the right of the island, the left-hand spot. Yeah, lots of particle out there with a little IB wafter over the top. They couldn't resist it. Wow, let's get you back.